Okay, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to do part 2 writing paper. Okay, as I think I have given some of you this question paper, but if you don't have the question paper, don't worry. Please copy down the question now. Okay, so you have been talking about experiences in class in about 120 words, or you may write up to 200 words, don't worry. Write a story about a frightening experience and use the notes below. Okay, what are those? What happened? Where did it happen? When did it happen? Why was it so frightening? Who was involved in your recount or in your story? And what are the lessons learned, okay, after the incident? Okay, after the incident. Lessons learned after the incident. Next. Now let's look at the sentences. Okay, when I use this point, when did it happen? Okay, so you can use the phrase like last year, last month, recently, a few weeks ago, or any starter or any beginners that you want to write. Okay, how to begin the story to show when did it happen. But please don't write once upon a time. Why? Because you are not going to write a fairy tale. You are not going to write about Cinderella or Snow White. You are going to write about you, your experience. I know that maybe that some of you will use your imagination to create the experience, but still it is called a recount, not a fairy tale. Got it? Okay, next. Who was involved? So, okay, who was involved means who are the characters in your recount? Okay, so because this is a recount, you are telling the reader about your experience, so you must use the pronouns I. So I here means you are the persona. Okay, the persona means the first person point of view. Okay, and I'm going to use other characters, example like the grandparents, parents, neighbors, okay, and whoever involved in your story, in your experience. Okay, next you have to write about what happened. Okay, what are the sentences to be written here? Okay, let's say, okay, so I use last year as the beginner. I went to my granny's house because my parents were at work. I had to sleep there. The weather was terrible. Then what happened? Raining with thunderstorms. Then what happened next? As my grandparents and I were eating dinner, a bolt of lightning hit a tree that was just under the kitchen window. The tree caught fire immediately. Since the kitchen curtain was flying outside because of the wind, it soon caught fire too, and in a split of a second, flames were dancing all around the kitchen. Okay, so you can use the metaphor, metaphora. Bahasa Melayu kata metaphora. Okay, you can use the metaphor, okay, uh, to show the flame. Okay, so you can use the metaphor. Flames were dancing, okay, all around the kitchen. Then what? What's next? Okay, we could not escape through the kitchen. My grandparents hugged me and protected me in the corner, praying that someone would notice the fire and come to rescue us. We were very frightened. My grandmother and I searched for the telephone, but unfortunately we could not find it since it had been burned. So that's why it is so scary. Okay, why was it so frightening? Already mentioned in the previously, right? Okay, so the neighbors saw the house burning and called the police and firemen. They came immediately while firemen tried to stop the fire. The broom cupboard fell on my grandfather's head. He fell unconscious. My grandmother and I started crying for my grandfather. About half an hour later, the firemen stopped the fire and came in the house to save us. The police called my parents and an ambulance for my grandfather. Okay, so now the last paragraph. Lessons learned after the incident. Finally, it was all over. This was my most frightening experience, and I wish that it will also be my last one. I never felt so scared in my life. The thing that I have learned in this incident, so this is answering the question, lessons learned, is to appreciate and value our neighbors. Why? They are the ones who will help us when we are in trouble. Okay, students, you need to arrange these sentences into proper paragraphs. The introduction, body 1, body 2, and also the conclusion. Altogether, you must have 4 paragraphs. Okay, if you have many ideas, you can write about 5 paragraphs. Okay, so 4 to 5 paragraphs. If you don't have the idea, you may copy down my sentences, but you must write in proper paragraph and write in your composition exercise book. Then you have to snap the picture of your writing and send it to me. If you have your own idea, please email the uh, composition, please email the essay to me. Okay, you know my email address, right? Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for your participation. Bye for now.